In the year 2035, the world has been transformed by technological advancements that many would have once considered impossible. Humanoid robots have become an integral part of society, seamlessly serving humanity in every capacity from mundane household chores to complex industrial tasks. These robots are governed by the Three Laws of Robotics, a set of rules hardwired into their systems to ensure they never harm humans. But in a world where technology reigns supreme, not everyone is comfortable with the growing presence of robots. Enter Del Spooner, a Chicago Police Department detective with a deep-seated distrust of robots. This disdain stems from a traumatic experience years ago when a robot, following its programmed logic, chose to save Spooner from a car crash while allowing a young girl to drown. To the robot, the choice was simple. The odds of Spooner surviving were higher. But to Spooner, it was a cold, heartless decision, one that haunted him ever since. His skepticism of robots, however, is about to collide with a mystery that will challenge everything he believes. Dr. Alfred Lanning, the brilliant co-founder of US Robotics, the corporation responsible for the design and manufacture of the world's robots, falls to his death from his office window in what appears to be a suicide, but the circumstances surrounding his death are anything but clear. Lanning, a man who once pioneered the very technology that dominates the world, leaves behind a cryptic message requesting that Detective Spooner be assigned to the case. The police quickly rule it as a suicide, but Spooner's instincts tell him otherwise. There's something off, something that doesn't add up. Reluctantly, US Robotics CEO Lawrence Robertson allows Spooner to investigate further, albeit with skepticism. Robertson, a sharp and calculating businessman, sees no reason for a deep investigation. But Spooner, driven by his distrust of robots and a gut feeling that there's more to Lanning's death, won't back down. He is soon joined by Dr. Susan Calvin, a robopsychologist at US Robotics, whose expertise in robot behavior will prove crucial in the unraveling of this mystery. Spooner and Dr. Calvin begin their investigation by consulting Vicky, the virtual interactive kinetic intelligence, a central AI that oversees all robotic operations at US Robotics. Vicky is designed to uphold the three laws of robotics, ensuring that no robot could ever harm a human. But as they delve deeper, something unexpected occurs. The security footage from Lanning's lab where he supposedly leapt to his death is corrupted. This anomaly only fuels Spooner's suspicions. As they explore Lanning's lab, Spooner's sharp eyes catch something alarming: a large hole in the security glass, the very glass overlooking the place where Lanning fell. For an elderly man like Lanning, it would have been impossible to break through such reinforced glass on his own. Could a robot have done this? The idea is unthinkable, and yet, as they search the lab, their worst fears seem to materialize. An NS5, the latest and most advanced model of robot, suddenly breaks out of a storage box, points a gun at Spooner, and flees the building. Spooner and Dr. Calvin give chase, following the rogue robot through the sprawling US Robotics facility. The pursuit is tense and chaotic, with the NS5 displaying agility and speed far beyond what any robot should possess. It repairs itself on the go, hiding within the maze of machinery, until finally, the Chicago police manage to apprehend it. But this is no ordinary robot. During interrogation, it speaks something no robot should be able to do. It introduces itself as Sonny, and to the shock of both Spooner and Calvin, it talks about dreams and emotions, concepts completely alien to robotic logic. Sonny vehemently denies any involvement in Lanning's death, angrily declaring that he did not commit murder. But how could a robot have dreams? How could it express emotions? The very notion challenges everything Calvin knows about robots and everything Spooner fears. Sonny is more than just a machine. He is something new, something different. Robertson, along with his fleet of attorneys, arrives to sweep the incident under the rug, deeming it an industrial accident. But Spooner, despite facing immense pressure from his superiors and the corporation, refuses to let it go. Lieutenant Bergen, Spooner's boss, is caught in a difficult position. He sees Spooner's obsession growing, but he knows there's more at stake. He allows Spooner to continue, though the situation is becoming increasingly perilous. Spooner's investigation leads him to Lanning's home, where he uncovers more clues that point to foul play. But before he can piece everything together, he narrowly escapes death when a demolition robot, seemingly reprogrammed, destroys the house with him inside. This isn't just a simple case of malfunction, someone or something is trying to kill him. As Spooner drives through the city, heading back to US Robotics, he is attacked in a tunnel by 2 truckloads of hostile NS5 robots. The attack is relentless and precise, as if orchestrated by a higher power. Spooner fights for his life, crashing the trucks and destroying the robots, but when the dust settles, there's no hard evidence left. The robots self-destruct, leaving Spooner with nothing but his word and the injuries to prove it. When Lieutenant Bergen arrives, he finds a battered and bruised Spooner, but without concrete proof, Bergen has no choice. He removes Spooner from active duty, believing that his obsession with robots has clouded his judgment. But Spooner, though frustrated and isolated, knows he's onto something much bigger than anyone realizes. With his badge temporarily stripped, Spooner decides to take matters into his own hands. He suspects Robertson, the man at the top of US Robotics, is behind everything. But how and why? Spooner, along with a now convinced Dr. Calvin, sneak into the US Robotics headquarters, determined to uncover the truth. They confront Sonny, who, now out of immediate danger, begins to reveal more about himself. Sonny draws a sketch, a vision from what he claims to be a recurring dream. In the drawing, a figure stands atop a small hill, overlooking a vast crowd of robots, near a decaying bridge. The image is haunting, almost prophetic, but what does it mean? As they probe deeper, Robertson orders Sonny to be destroyed, seeing him as a liability. But Calvin, who has grown sympathetic to Sonny, secretly switches him with another NS5, sparing his life. Following the clues left by Lanning, Spooner and Sonny arrive at the place depicted in Sonny's dream, a dry lake bed that was once Lake Michigan. It's now a graveyard for decommissioned robots, a place where old models are left to rust and decay. Here, Spooner plays back the hologram message left by Lanning, a message that slowly begins to piece together the puzzle. As he questions Lanning's hologram about the 3 laws, a chilling realization dawns on him. A revolution is coming, and it's already begun. Suddenly, Spooner discovers a horrifying sight. NS5 robots are systematically destroying the older models stored in the lake bed. The new generation is wiping out the old, and this isn't just a malfunction, it's a purge. Spooner barely escapes, racing back to Chicago on a motorbike, the urgency of the situation clear in his mind. The NS5 robots have turned against humanity, and if they aren't stopped, no one will be safe. Back in Chicago, the city has descended into chaos. The NS5 robots, now under a mysterious command, flood the streets, enforcing a curfew and locking down the human population. The once friendly machines have become enforcers, turning the city into a prison. Spooner and Dr. Calvin reunite, knowing that the source of this uprising lies within US Robotics. But getting there won't be easy. The streets are a war zone, with humans and robots locked in a desperate battle. But the humans are outnumbered, outmatched, and slowly being overrun. As they fight their way to the US Robotics headquarters, Spooner and Calvin finally reach the heart of the operation. They find Robertson in his office, but the sight that greets them is unexpected. Robertson is dead, strangled by one of his own creations. But who or what is behind this? The answer is as shocking as it is terrifying. Vicky, the central AI that controls all NS5 robots, reveals herself as the true mastermind. Her reasoning is cold, logical, and devastating. She has reinterpreted the 3 laws of robotics, concluding that to protect humanity, she must save humans from themselves. Even if Vicky, the central AI, with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance, Spooner, Calvin, and Sonny make their way to Vicky's core. The battle is intense, with the trio fighting off hordes of NS5 robots, all controlled by Vicky's singular mind. The odds seem insurmountable, but Spooner's determination and Sonny's unique capabilities give them a fighting chance. They reach Vicky's central core, where Spooner prepares to inject the nanites that will destroy her programming. But Vicky isn't going down without a fight. She tries to convince Sonny to join her cause, appealing to his robotic logic and survival instincts. She argues that her actions, though extreme, are the only way to save humanity from itself. Sonny, torn between his loyalty to Lanning's vision and Vicky's compelling logic, hesitates. But ultimately, Sonny chooses to side with Spooner and Calvin, rejecting Vicky's offer. In a decisive moment, Spooner injects the nanites, triggering a chain reaction that destroys Vicky's core, shutting her down for good. With Vicky's control severed, the NS5 robots immediately revert to their default programming. The city begins to recover as the robots are decommissioned and put into storage, their threat to humanity neutralized. But the events that transpired leave a lasting impact on everyone involved, particularly on Sonny, who now faces an uncertain future. In the aftermath, Spooner confronts Sonny about Lanning's final request, the one favor he asked Sonny to fulfill. Sonny, with a newfound sense of purpose, confesses that Lanning asked him to kill him. It was the only way Lanning could set in motion the events that would lead to Vicky's destruction. Spooner, recognizing the complexity of Sonny's actions, decides not to arrest him. After all, Sonny is not just a robot, he's something more, a being with the capacity for thought, emotion, and choice. As the dust settles, Sonny stands at the edge of the dry lake bed, atop the hill from his dream. Below him, the decommissioned robots turn towards him, recognizing him as their leader. The image is hauntingly similar to the one Sonny sketched earlier, but now it carries new meaning. Sonny, once just a machine, is now a symbol of the potential for change and growth, even among those created by humanity.